Alright everyone, welcome back to another Lord of the Rings Heroes of Middle-earth video with Fat Phil. And what I want to bring up to kind of, the world here, I think I've heard a lot of people complaining about this game and saying, oh, there's not enough to do, the pace is really slow. And I can understand that as someone who plays Galaxy of Heroes, where you've got Grand Arena, Conquest, Assault Battles, Raids, all these different functions that you can do, right? Squad Arena, Fleet, everything. I get it, right? However, keep in mind that this game is still in its infancy, right? They've already said raids are coming, but I can understand them not releasing raids right away. You need to first build up your roster. Like if they released a raid and they go, oh, you need goblins, the whole world would complain that there's only these 5 goblins and they're hard to get. Or if they're like, hey, you know what, we're going to let you, you need Dunland. Well, there's only 3 Dunland characters. So I can understand them not wanting to go that route of releasing all this stuff all at once. They're going to let the game build a little bit. They're going to add in some stuff. They're going to let us build our rosters. Because right now, you look, I really don't have that many characters built where if there was a raid, I could maybe do, 3 teams at most? Like, I've got, Rookma, Grimluz, Sam Gamgee. I mean, I've got a couple of characters who are just at level 1. I think I have a whole team of level 1 characters. So I guess what I'm trying to bring to people's attention is that yes, the game is slow, but it's designed that way. That don't think that they're not doing anything with it. They're just not ready for that next stage of the game yet. And I don't think they'll be ready for a little bit. I think it's going to take them some time to figure out the cadence for this game because the economy is very different than Galaxy of Heroes. It's a whole different economy for them. And they're going to learn how best to ensure that your progression is not too slow, but also not too fast. Because they don't want people getting to gear, 8, for day 1, right? They don't even want you getting there after 2 weeks. They want that to be a grind. And so I'm curious to see how this continues to pan out in this game. But that is something I heard and I want to bring to people's attention, right? You could consider this almost my first Lord of the Rings FAQ video. That's what we're going to call it, FAQ. I do these for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes where I kind of answer some questions I'm getting. The next question I've been getting a lot is really related to, the supplies section here, right? Like, what am I buying with supplies? So sometimes the shadow crystals, but really I'm not buying any of the rest of this gear anymore because, you need so much of this gold. And even though that some of this kind of looks like a good deal, I just think like gold is so important that you don't really want to buy it unless like absolutely necessary. So that's kind of what I've been doing there. In my Squad Arena store, we're buying Shagrat and we're buying Aemir. I think I'm going to stop Aemir at about 3 stars and just kind of focus on getting Shagrat because I would like to build a Mordor team or at least have the option to build a Mordor team. So that is something I'm looking at doing. With the amount of shards you need for characters in this game, my guild, we've been kind of tossing around this 3 to 4 star is a good stopping point for a lot of people because it does take a lot of shards to get places. And the risk you run is that if you invest all this time in getting Aemir to 4 star, and then it turns out that you need somebody else at 3 stars or 4 stars for a legendary or whatever, that you're kind of behind the 8 ball. So you don't want to be, now you're taking the risk as well that maybe Aemir is a 5-star requirement for something. We don't know yet, but we're trying to build as much as makes sense, right? You don't want to spread your resources too thin, but you don't also want to be laser focused on something and then end up in a situation where you need to start from scratch. The challenge store, I have basically only been buying Halbarad shards, and that is a slow process. It is painful, but it's what I want to do. I want to get Halbarad. He's got the highest health pool in the game, and he's a really good character. So he's not even in the challenge store right now, but you guys can see I am about halfway there for getting Halbarad. Yeah, we're not even halfway there for Halbarad, so we're making progress, but it's taking a little bit. I don't know if you guys can hear my dog barking in the background. And then with my guild, I did buy Miri. I think Rangers are going to be a really good squad, so I bought Miri. I also was purchasing some Webet. Where's Webet at? Where are you at? There you are. Webet I also purchased. We do know through data mines that the Haradrim are going to be needed for the Witch King. What we don't know yet is what level of unlock some of these characters are going to be at. Someone like Sam Gamgee, who's a legendary-ish, was a 3-star unlock. Meanwhile, somebody, some of these other characters you come down in here, right? You can see that 15 is 1 star, 45 is 2, 100 is a 3-star character. So it looks like right now the furthest unlock we have is 3 stars. So, that's the same thing with, I guess, Shagrat, and is that way too, that he's a 3-star unlock. So it'll be kind of curious to see what these unlocks are, whether it's going to be 5-star unlocks or whether they do 3-star. We don't really know yet. I would assume 5-star just based on their history, but again, that's all stuff that you could just be planning for. The last piece of advice I'm going to give you, right? I think the last FAQ we're going to get is, are any of the packs in the store worth it? As someone who doesn't spend money, I'm a terrible person to ask because I don't spend the money. But if you really want if you were going to say, oh, are these packs worth it? There was a Halbarad pack that I think a lot of people in my guild purchased that they said was good value because of how long it does take to get him, that it's going to give you a good head start for a character with the largest health pool in the game. So I would say that that's probably got a little bit more value. There was also some Hobbit packs that came out that didn't look terrible value, that would at least get you Merry Brandybuck unlocked. The thing I'll say with that is, with any of those packs, you're taking them, it depends on how good the characters are. Like, Road to Rivendell doesn't seem to be the best faction in the game right now, but again, to each their own. I'm not going to tell you what you should and, oh, you shouldn't spend money or you can spend money. It doesn't matter, right? It's all personal preference. But I would say that Halbarad is definitely, if I was going to say this is the best option, I think Halbarad's probably the best investment in the game right now. I just think that he is that good. So that's the advice for Lord of the Rings. Kind of my first official FAQ for this game. I'll make sure to make a playlist and do these. I do them about once a week on Star Wars, so we'll kind of see how Lord of the Rings, if we follow that cadence or if we do them, a little bit more or less frequently. So that's it, guys. I love all of you. I guess I can't say may the Force be with you because this is Lord of the Rings. So may the power of the ring not condemn you to darkness. I don't know. That's really clunky. I'll have to come up with a good catchphrase. Let me know if you guys have a catchphrase for me. That way I'm gonna use the audience for that. Now, guys, like and subscribe, comment, and I'll see you all in the next video. Cheers.